Well, so what we're trying today is to see if we can capture a picture of a NOAA weather satellite, in fact, NOAA 15, which is going to pass right over my area in about 11 minutes. Right now, it's just over the northern coast of Norway, it looks like. It's going to cross over Greenland and the U.S., and we're going to use a SDR dongle. It's a radio dongle to see if I can capture that signal. I'm going to capture it, and then I'm going to record it and decode it and see if we can get a weather satellite picture from NOAA 15. That satellite is moving in a polar orbit, which means it's going to change all in relationship to both the azimuth and elevation as it comes over my house, and I'm going to have to point my antenna at it as it changes. What I've done is I've got an antenna rigged up on the roof and attached to two pretty little cheap RCA rotors, one for the azimuth side to side, one for the elevation up and down. I'm going to try to track that satellite, keep the antenna pointed at it as it comes over my location. This is how I'm receiving the radio frequency from the satellite. It's about 137 megahertz. And I'll show you this as soon as we capture the audio. Okay, it's going to start getting kind of busy in about 1 minute. You can see the round circle over North America is actually the footprint of the satellite. It's going to be taking a picture of North America as it passes over my location, and that's what I'm trying to decode. I'm about 1 minute away from having it just above the horizon. Right now it's about 5 degrees. So it's going to start getting pretty busy here in just a little bit. I've got to track that satellite with my rotors here, up and down, side to side. Then I'm going to have to keep the frequency centered here on my laptop computer as I record it. So we'll be back as soon as we pick up a signal. Okay, we've got the satellite just over the horizon right now, about 4 degrees above the horizon. And I'm already picking up a pretty decent signal. You can see that big yellow line right below the red line tells me that that's the data I'm receiving from the satellite, and I'm recording it. Let's listen for it. It's a little noisy right now. I'll adjust that as we go through the pass. There we go. Seem to have a pretty good lock on the signal. It's a little noisy. I've tried adjusting the bandwidth on it, but as you can see, the satellite is coming close. It's about 15 degrees above the horizon right now. I'm going to adjust for that here in just a second, but I've got about 10 degrees on the azimuth and somewhere around 20 degrees on the elevation. And here it comes. I think it's given a pretty good signal. Looks like I've got it adjusted just about the way I want it. Let's listen to it. And there's the satellite almost approaching directly over my house. It's about 500 miles up in the air right now, and it's moving pretty fast. But I think I've got everything adjusted just about. It seems like I'm getting a pretty good signal now. I've got the frequency adjusted right in the center of the frequency. You can hear it's a pretty good signal. Looks like it's right over the house, or coming right over the house. If it was close to dawn or dusk, the satellites do reflect sunlight. If it was dark enough that it was dark for me, but the satellite being 500 miles up could still see the sun, you might actually be able to go outside and look straight up and see it as it crosses the sky. About 500 miles up, and it's moving very fast right now. It looks like it's capturing a picture of almost all of North America and almost all of Central America. It'll be interesting to see, especially since it's a clear day outside. The last pictures I got were just nothing but the tops of clouds. Maybe we can see something interesting today. We'll see. All right, well, we're not too far away from losing this signal. Got about a minute to go. You can see the satellite is over the Pacific right now, right off the western coast of South America. That circle tells me I'm just about to lose it. Looks like it's about 6 degrees above the horizon. And you can tell the signal's starting to get pretty noisy. I think I'm going to stop the recording here in just a second. That's not going to give a very good picture.
There we go. That's the, well, not really the final image, but there I am right there in the coastal bend. That's why they call it the coastal bend, because it's got a bend to it. And not a bad picture. I did some photo editing on it, and I've got to figure out a way to colorize these things, but nonetheless, got a direct NOAA satellite picture of a good part of North America. The recording split in two, so I'm going to have to add another layer to this or something. I'm not much of a photo editor, but not too bad actually. Let's see if you can see me down here. No, I guess not. Guess you can't see me, but there it is, the weather in the coastal bend. Looks like all the clouds are finally starting to clear out. Got a lot over here by New Orleans. Looks like they're getting nailed. Up here by Houston, down in the Yucatan.